Hello, welcome to the lecturer's desk. Get your medical thoughts cleared before you leave. And please don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and turn on the notification bell.
Hello guys, welcome back once again to the lecture desk. My name is Michael, can call me Mike. Please, if you are new here, kindly subscribe to the YouTube channel, like and share, and leave a comment at the comment section. Today we are going to talk about how to identify atrioventricular block on the EKG graph. It is very simple, so be with me. Now, when we talk of atrioventricular block, what is it? Atrioventricular block is a condition in which there's a delay in the transmission of the electrical impulses generated in the sinus node into the ventricles. Physiologically, this transmission takes about 0.12 seconds to 0.2 seconds to be transmitted from the atria to the ventricle. So in the condition in which there's an increase in time taken for the transmission, we say we have an atrioventricular block. Now it has various types. You go through each and every one and how to identify it on the EKG graph. But before that, this condition or this abnormality is being caused by various factors, and some of these factors are the heart ischemic disease and also certain infections like diphtheria and also Lyme disease, and also can get an immune disorders such as the systemic lupus erythematosus. They all contribute to that. And lastly, certain heart surgeries can produce the atrioventricular block. Now, let's get to it. When we talk of the atrioventricular block, we have the AV block. When we talk of the AV block, we have three main types. We have the first degree, the second degree, and then the third degree. But the second degree is having two main types also. We have the Morbis 1 or the Morbis type 1, and then the Morbis type 2. Okay, so first, second, third degree, and then the second degree we have the Morbis 1 and then the Morbis 2. So this is what I have over here. The Morbis 1, Morbis 2, first degree, and then third degree. Are you clear with it? Now, physiologically, from our previous video, you can remember that the physiological transmission of the electrical impulse, it takes about 0.12 seconds to 0.2 seconds, which is about 3 small boxes to 5 small boxes. So in a condition in which there's an increase in the time taken for the electrical impulse to be transmitted, we say we have an AV block. Are we clear with it? Now, how are you going to identify a first degree block? A first degree. Now, a first degree, for that, you'll be based on these three criteria. We have our P wave, we have our PR intervals, and our QRS. Are you clear with me? Now, look at something over here. When you take the first degree block, we have a normal P wave. The P wave over there is going to be to be normal at the first degree. But let's look at the PR interval. The PR interval is what represents the time transmission of the impulse from the atria to the ventricle. So the PR interval over here is going to be prolonged. So PR interval for the first degree is going to be prolonged and constant. Constant is very important. It's going to be prolonged and constant. That means the PR interval for the first degree, it's going to be what? More. It's going to be more than 0.2 seconds. So it can be what? 0.24 seconds, or 0.28 seconds, or 0.32 seconds. Are we clear with it? Now, so that is for the PR interval in the first degree block. Now, let's look at the QRS complex. For the QRS complex, it's going to be also normal and what? Present in all these. Going to be what? Present in all these. So for the first degree, you're going to get your P wave, you're going to get what? The PR interval, you're going to get what? Your QRS complex. But the only thing that changes over here is what? The prolonged and then the constant PR interval, which represents what? The delay in the transmission of the electrical impulse into the ventricles. Are we clear with it? Yeah. Now let's look at what? The type 2, which is what? The second degree block. Now, for the second degree block, we have what? The Morbius type 1. Now, for the Morbius type 1 too, we are going to get what? A normal P wave so your P wave is going to be what? To be normal. Now, after getting a normal P wave, you are going to get what? A PR interval, which is going to be what? Progressively increasing. Increasing in length. So the what? Progressively lengthening of the PR interval. Are we clear with it? So for that one, so assuming you have your P wave, okay, we have our P1 P wave over here, our 3 P waves over here, and then we have what? Our QRS complexes over here. For the Morbius 1, the what? The PR interval will be what? Increasing. It's in the form of a cycle. It will be increasing until there's what? A drop in beats. Now, when you talk of a drop in beats, it means until you find a P wave without a QRS interval. Are you clear with it? Now, so here, assuming this, the time taken for the PR interval here is 0.24. Here, for this part, it will be 0.28. And here, it will be 0.32. And then here, there will be what? A drop in beat. That means we are not going to what? Get a QRS complex for that part. So it will be what? The time taken will be what? Progressing. Will be progressing until there will be what? A total block in beat of the ventricles. Are we clear with it? Now, so here, progressive PR interval until there's what? A drop in beat. So in the form of what? A cycle. So it will start increasing and then there will be what? A drop in beat, and then the cycle starts again. So we start from 0.24. 0.24 go to 0.28. 0.28 go to 0.32. 0.32 From there, there'll be a drop in beat. When there's a drop in beat, the cycle will start again. Another 0.24, 0.28, the same thing goes on. That is what the Morbius 1. Are we clear with it? So for the QRS complex, you get a drop in beat. That means, or at a certain point, it will be what? Absent. Are we clear with it? So that is for the Morbius 1. Please don't forget the progressively what? Increasing in the length until there's what? A total blockage, which brings what? A drop in beat. Now let's go to what? The Morbius 2. The Morbius 2. For the Morbius 2, it is also the same as Morbius 1, but there's what? A little difference between these two. Now, for the P wave for the Morbius 2, it's also going to be what? Normal. But the PR interval here won't be what? Progressively what? Increasing. It will be long, prolonged, and then you find a drop beat. You find what? A drop beat. So unlike the Morbius 1, it will be what? Increasing. It will be increasing until there's a total what? Blockage. But for the Morbius 2, it is constant. It is constant, and you find what? A blockage. Are we clear with it? So that is the main difference between what? The Morbius 1 and then the Morbius 2. Morbius 1 increases until there's a block. It's in the form of a cycle. But for the Morbius 2, there's what? A prolonged PR interval, but constant. PR interval constant. Until there's what? A drop in beat. Until you cannot find what? You cannot find what? A QRS complex in certain what? P. Now, let's come to the third degree. For the third degree, it is also little different from that of what? The Morbius 2. And what can make you what? Identify is simple. Is what? The P wave vary. The P wave vary. The P wave, you see it as normal. Let me put it. You see the P wave as normal, but the PR is what is going to what? Vary. So, the PR interval is going to be what? Vary. Now, unlike the Morbius 1, that will be having what? A progressive increment. For that of what? Third degree, you get various forms of what? PR interval, but it's not in a progressive form. You can get it. Let me put it here. You can get it as a very long as this one, short, long, short. Do you understand? So it varies. It's not constant. So what can give you what? Little or more idea about the third degree is you are going to get more of what? The PR. The PR is not constant. The PR is not constant, and it is also not what? Progressive. Not constant and not progressive, but it does what? is vary. Are you clear with it? Now, so for that one, you can get something like so you see this one, this PR interval is very large. This PR interval is short. So that is how the third degree block works. Are we clear with it? And also you are going to get the QRS complex is going to be what? Absent in a lot of what? P waves. Do you understand? So here we say P waves without QRS complex. So if you take about 10 P waves in third degree, 10 P waves, you are going to get about 5 to 6 that won't be having the QRS complex. And here, one thing that can also give you an idea is that there's what? Inconsistency in the what? The atrial contraction and the ventricular contraction. Why? Because there's what? The blockage is so severe in such a way that the ventricles adapt to a new pacemaker. Do you understand? The ventricular fibers, that is the Purkinje fibers, they will adapt to what? A new pacemaker. So our Purkinje fibers will give us what? A new heartbeat. And we know for the Purkinje fibers, its heartbeat that will be given is what? So small. Do you understand? So here the person can undergo what? A bradycardia. The person can undergo a bradycardia. And also there is no what? Consistency between what? The ventricular what? Contraction and then the atrial contraction. There's no what? Consistency between them. Are we clear with it? Now, so this is what? How we can differentiate between what? The first degree, second degree, and then the third degree. I repeat, the first degree you are going to get what? A normal P wave. And the only thing that will give you an idea of a first degree is you get what? A prolonged PR interval. And as you get a prolonged PR interval, must give you what? An idea of what? A first degree. Because in first degree, in all these, you are going to get what? A QRS complex. You're going to get a QRS complex and also a prolonged PR interval, and it is also constant. Second degree, the Morbius one. The Morbius one is going to be what? Progressively increasing in the PR interval until it's what? It gives what? A drop in beat, or until it's totally what? Blocked. That gives what? A drop beat. Now, for that point, when there's what? A drop beat, that means there will be what? An absence of a QRS complex on that P wave. And then come to the Morbius 2. The Morbius 2 is also a little bit what? Different from what? That of the Morbius 1. You are going to get what? A PR interval, which is what? Large. And that PR interval, which is large, is also what? Constant. And then aside that, large and constant, and what? There's what? A drop in beat. So the only difference between the Morbius 2 and then the first degree is that for the Morbius 2, there's what? A drop beat, but for the first degree, there's no what? Drop beat. So we can differentiate between what? The Morbius 2 and what? The first degree. And also to differentiate between the Morbius 2 and the Morbius 1, you see the PR interval is constant, it's not progressive. Now, I come to the third degree, how to differentiate between them. You find various P waves without QRS complex. And also the PR interval varies. It can be large, can be short. Do you understand? It can be normal, but it doesn't follow certain pattern, unlike that of the Morbius one, which is what progressively what increasing. Are we clear with it? Now let's look at the graph over here. Our first graph is the first degree block. So for the first degree block, you see there's what? An increase in the length of the PR. This is our P. And this is what? Our R. So there's what? An increase in what? In the length. It is more than 5 small boxes. So it's what? An increase. That means there's a blockage. But if you check the blockage, the PR is constant. The distance, they are constant. And also there's no what? Drop in what? The ventricular what? Contraction. That there's no drop beat, which is what? The what? Transmission of the electrical impulse to the ventricle, but it will delay. Are we clear with it? So that is for the first degree. Now let's look at the second degree for the Morbius one. For the Morbius one, you see it will what? Progressively increasing. So this is our P wave. This is our R. This is our P. This is our R. If you check the distance between this and that of what? This, you see it is what? Increasing. And if you check that of this P and this R, you see it is also what? Increasing. And you check that of this one, it is, this is larger than this, and this is larger than this, and this is larger than that. That means they will be what? Increasing. Increasing what? In length. Until it is what? Totally what? Blocked. Until it's what? Totally what? Blocked. So here we don't have what? A QRS complex. Are we clear with it? Now, let's come to the Morbius 2. For the Morbius 2, I said they are constant. The PR interval, they are constant. So this is constant, this is constant, and that is constant. Are we clear with it? But there's what? A total blockage instantly. This is a simultaneous blockage without what? A progressive what? Increase in length. So here, this P wave is there without what? Without a QRS complex. So that means there's what? One drop in beat. Now we also have this P without what? A QRS complex. This P without a QRS complex. So this is what? Morbius what? 2. Now let's come to what? To that of what? Third degree. For third degree, I said we find what? A lot of what? P waves without QRS complex, which is one factor. And 2, the PR intervals, it varies. It varies. It can be large, short, normal. Short, large, normal. Are you clear with it? So we check. We have 1, 2. We have, you can see we have this, that. Do you understand? Now let's look at the PR interval. This is the P, this is our R. So this interval comparing to that, this is larger than this. This is longer than that too. Are we clear with it? And because of that, this two is also short. So this is larger. This is like medium in the medial form, and this is short as compared to that of the two. It doesn't have a specific pattern that it follows. So that gives you what? An idea. And also we have what? A drop in beat. You understand? We have what? A drop in beat. and there's not what consistency between the ventricular and then the atrial contraction. So this is basically how you can identify what the atrioventricular block on the EKG graph. Please don't forget they are what? They are three: first degree, second degree, third degree. The first degree, what you must know is what everything is normal, but we have a prolonged PR interval. The second degree, we have what? A progressive increase in what? The PR interval until it's what? You get what? A total blockage, which is what? A dropping beat. And then the cycle starts again. The Mobis 2, we are going to get what? A constant what? PR intervals, which a constant prolonged PR intervals until it's what? Simultaneously what? Block. So it's not what? Progressive as compared to Mobis 1. And you talk of what? The third degree, you find a lot of what? P waves without what? QRS complex. And also, most importantly, you are going to get what? A PR interval that varies. You can get some that are short, some that are long, with that what? A specific what? Pattern. And then it spontaneously what? Undergo what? Total blockage or a drop in beat. So that is basically what the atrioventricular block entails. If you find the class very useful, please like, share, and comment. And lastly, subscribe to the channel so that we all can also what? Benefit from these teachings. Thank you for staying with me till this time. See you in my next video.